Hey guys, I'm Davin Greenwell from Push Pull Grow. I'm a competitive powerlifter with a background in bodybuilding and approximately 10 years experience with personal training.
My name's Steve Christopher. I'm with SC Sports Performance. I have roughly 5 years experience doing strength and conditioning with high-level athletes, and I'm a retired national level rugby player.
So we're both exercise physiology and kinesiology master students at IUPUI. My research specifically is focusing on neurophysiology, exercise physiology, and I've got an interest in bioenergetics as well.
Nerd, right? Yeah, I think so. My research focuses on athletic performance and genetics.
So, Steve, we should talk a little bit about ourselves.
Yeah, what we believe in, I guess. We can
Okay.
go into that.
So personally, I would consider myself to be first and foremost an existentialist. What does that mean? So basically, philosophy is my secondary passion. I like philosophy about as much as I like exercise science. So taking that into account, I've kind of used exercise science and exercise physiology and just the field of kinesiology in general to expand my my knowledge of self, my understanding of the world around me.
So I believe in science is a forever developing field. It's not set in stone. That's why there's no one correct way to reach a certain goal. So we have to develop alternative approaches to adapt to an ever-changing world.
True. So the reason we created this channel, ultimately what we were trying to do was inspire others to pursue a path of awareness in a field that's generally kind of overrun with like pseudoscience and sensationalism and
Inflated egos.
right. So guys, we've got kind of an outline of what we're going over in the next few video.
A video roadmap is
Yeah,
what it is. It's
yeah,
a video roadmap.
And so we're going to kind of run through that so you have an idea of what to expect from our channel and at least what we're going to cover initially. So first and foremost, as the performance enhancing dudes, I think is our duty to cover performance enhancing drugs. And that's not limited to illicit drugs per se, but more so any sort of chemical or substance we may be using for physical enhancement. So caffeine, for instance, creatine, pre-workout, beta-alanine, all those things. We're going to cover a wide spectrum of things, but those are the first on our list of performance-enhancing drugs.
There is also a rumor, it's still in the rumor phases, but there's a rumor floating around, I think we saw that on Tinder or something, that we're making a pre-workout.
Yeah, I think someone made an account on Tinder and said that we were making a pre-workout, which is really, really weird because I've seen people do some weird stuff on Tinder before. But not that, so.
It was on like MySpace too, it was crazy. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're gonna maybe make a pre-workout. Some people talked about it, so we might make it come true, we'll see.
We're also going to cover nutrition. Obviously, nutrition is a huge part of the equation. In some cases, I even go so far as to say it's 70% of the whole process, right? So we'll cover macros, micros, timing, nutrient timing.
And a bunch of research that goes into it, so you know that we're not just feeding you straight bro science. It's going to be kind of science-based, right?
Right,
It's a
right.
science channel.
I think that's the important part, is we're trying to kind of differentiate ourselves in the sense that we want to come with a science, evidence-based approach rather than, just flexing our biceps and telling you what works. We could do that.
We could, indeed.
But, that's unethical. So
We'll save that for another channel.
Yeah. Performance. A big part of the performance enhancement is the performance itself, right? So we're going to look at different aspects of performance or different methodologies to improve in performance. So training methods, look at some different ways of training core.
Yeah, we're going to have a core and more type video where we show you all the alternative ways to train core rather than the stereotypical push or sit-ups and other BS exercises like toe to the bar, all that stuff. There's much safer and more effective ways to train core, and we'll teach you those as we go along.
Right, we're also going to cover a topic that I think is pretty important, compounds versus isolation, and kind of explaining how that's more of a spectrum than it is a black and white ordeal, right? The compounds versus isolation can really help you break down and make better sense of what you're doing and why. So that's something I think we'll want to
For
go
sure.
over. Exercise physiology. It's I think I've already mentioned one of my passions, one of my major interests. So we're going to go over exercise physiology, kind of explaining some of the science behind why your body does what it does in response to exercise.
That'll probably be broken up into a couple videos. There's no way we can give you one video on all of exercise physiology. So probably one of the first things we're going to start out in is going to be the different energy systems that your body uses.
Right, we'll kind of start at the groundwork and work up from there. It's important that we cover topics one at a time, really, because if we try and touch on the entirety of the exercise physiology,
Throw
like Steve
everything
said,
at you at once. And
I mean, that could be a 2-hour-long video in which you would come out with nothing, right?
I mean, one of us might take our shirts off, but you might stay for that, but not the
Yeah,
information.
that's a viable way to teach exercise physiology in certain scenarios, I think, but
Indeed.
probably not this one.
We'll find out. Yeah, you guys will find out.
That's true. Lastly, something we definitely are going to be open to is Q&A, questions and answers. Because part of this, the whole reason we're doing this channel is for you guys, right? So if you guys have questions and you want to post those, we will do our best to provide you an answer. And if we don't have an answer, we will try and find one. So.
And one thing that we're gonna do is, that's pretty cool, if we have like a really popular topic from you guys, like a lot of you are saying the same thing, we can do like a debate about it. We can go back and forth, but we'll definitely address it in a video and try to give you the best answer. It'd be more fun if it's something controversial where we both argue about it, because then that'd be loads of fun for you guys to see us try to yell at each other.
Right. You know, and believe it or not, despite the fact that we kind of dress the same, Steve and I do have some conflicting views on a few things. What was it? I know that we've been
Keto.
kind of going back and forth on keto the last couple days, so that might be something interesting we go over as well. But again, it's up to you guys. Q&A. So post your questions, post those in the comments, send us emails.
Take a picture of you dabbing and post it.
Whatever works.
I appreciate
as long
that.
as you can get your message across.
So, in closing most of our videos, what we're going to try to do is some sort of myth-busting scenario where we take a really popular misconception in the fitness world, the science world, and then try to make it a fun learning experience for you guys. We'll make fun of it. We'll do something fun.
Right. Again, the myth-busting component is a big part of why we're here. There's too much misinformation out there, and especially in our field. Our field is really prone to these I call gurus.
For sure. The guys that take off their shirt on camera and then like that's the ad you see on the YouTube videos. I'm sure eventually that'll be an ad on our YouTube video.
Right. I mean, we've got to do what we've got to do to get ahead, but ultimately we want to try and dispel that sense of that lack of professionalism that exists in our field. So
For sure. Yeah.
Anything else, Steve?
No, I'm thinking you guys are going to have a lot of fun with this channel, but not as much fun as we're going to have, because we're going to have all the fun.
Right. Remember, first and foremost, we're doing this for ourselves. We don't care about you guys.
Fact. Absolute fact. But we might care a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe a little bit.
I
We'll
guess.
find out.
I guess.
But you guys have a fantastic day.
Yeah. Sweating.